The first book that I've selected to start us off in this corner of the book club or bookshelf, I think it would be a crime if we don't start with Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. The reason why I've selected this book, it's so special in so many ways. It's actually the book that I was reading. I was on a plane flying to California. I had been invited to speak at an event, and I was reading that book. While I was reading that book came into my life at the exact time that I needed it. And I think it was, universe sending that book. I had mentioned in an earlier video that I had been contemplating starting a YouTube channel, but I was so scared. I just didn't feel comfortable putting myself out here. Now I'm starting to enjoy it, and I'm starting to learn the ways of YouTube, and I'm now enjoying it. But at that time, I was so scared. I was so scared to start a YouTube channel. And so when I was reading The Artist's Way, these are some of the concepts that stood out for me. And the first one is that you will never feel ready in whatever creative project that you are doing. You will never feel ready. And if you feel ready, then you've wasted so much time. You've stayed with it for far too long. If you feel ready to ship it to the world, if you feel ready to ship it to the world, then you've stayed too long. You need to feel scared. You need to feel, 80% ready. So in whatever project, and just an encouragement for your 2025 goals or whatever goals you are pursuing, do 80%, do 60%, and then send it to the world. Don't stay with it for too long. Don't over prepare, don't over plan, don't get paralyzed. So 3 concepts. Did I finish the story? So I read that book, and I got so much encouragement while reading that book. I got solace that I'm not alone in whatever thing you are trying to create. Most of these things, other people are feeling already, like the feeling scared to put your projects and your work and your talents out in the world. Everyone is feeling that. So you are not alone if you are feeling those feelings of, hey, I'm not ready, I fear criticism, I fear failure. Everyone is feeling that. But then what sets people apart, and this is the first quotation in this book that I keep reading even now, is that, let me just read it as is. What sets people apart is audacity. So the first concept is audacity. And she writes, all too often, it is audacity and not talent that moves the artist to the center stage. And if you ask me, many things that I was able to achieve, there was some element of audacity, not so much talent. And a recent example, I would say, starting my PhD, I started my PhD without a master's degree, and I didn't feel ready. And when I now look back, it was audacity. It was just thinking that I can handle it. Although it was difficult in the beginning, but I did manage at the end. Another example is writing a book. I never thought I can write a book. I never thought I can be an author. And more especially because English is not my first language. And so I felt I wasn't ready, or rather, I needed maybe some time to read more, to prepare more before I can write a book. But then I've now written 2 books, and I'm thinking of writing the 3rd one. Audacity and not talent, not preparedness will take you far in life. So in this 2025, with your goals and your resolutions, I hope you lean more towards audacity. Don't wait to be ready. Don't wait for talent. Don't blame lack of talent. Most of the time, all those projects, what will set you apart and move you forward is audacity more than anything else. Number 2, synchronicity. I'm sure you've heard this word so many times already because it keeps ringing in my head. I think there was research done on synchronicity reported by another researcher, but I like what Julia Cameron does with the word. She kind of brings the spiritual aspect of it. And let me just read it because I love it. Synchronicity gives me confidence to make that first step, even if I feel not ready. or scared of the rest of the steps. Synchronicity is allowing me to make the first kilometer, to make plans for the first kilometer and just leave the rest to the universe, to God. Let me read it. Synchronicity. Leap and the net will appear. When we move on faith into the act of creation, the universe is able to advance. People, places, and things will almost magically come your way to help you accomplish your goals and your dreams. 100%. I saw this again with writing my first book. I had no idea how people publish a book. But then I was like, you know what? The first step would be to collect all my stories into some sort of a PDF. And I was telling myself, if at all I don't publish it, I'll just make it into a beautiful PDF and I'll share with my siblings, their friends, and my friends, and the kids that I mentor. So that was the plan. So then I made the manuscript, and one step at a time led to places and things and resources that came along the way, allowing me to publish the book and put it on Amazon, and led to another book, the second book, The PhD Journey. And hopefully now, I feel confident. I now know all the steps and I can write a third book. Synchronicity allowed me to be confident in launching this channel, although it took me ages and a lot of convincing to actually launch it, because I wasn't comfortable being out here and sharing my thoughts and my ideas out here. But then when I did, and I only had 5 guests that I was sure that I would host, I wasn't sure where the rest would come from. I've now interviewed over 30 guests in 2024 alone. Where those people came from, even me, I don't know. Thanks to synchronicity. A friend told a friend. One DM'd me. One thing led to another. Places, things, resources came along the way, allowing me to progress in my creation in this channel. And one step led to another, synchronicity, and now we are monetized with 1.7. I received an email from YouTube the other day. With 1.7K subscribers, we are monetized. How that happened, even me, it baffles me. Thanks to synchronicity and audacity. Number 3, the third concept is this concept of wet blankets. And as you advance in your goals and in your resolutions, as you make them, be aware of wet blankets. Because those ideas, you are also, when you're thinking of these goals and resolutions, they are also so big. You even, sometimes it scares. Sometimes those goals and resolutions, they scare you. And so when you share these ideas with other people, those who don't understand where you're coming from, those who don't understand your capabilities, they easily kill them. And so let me read this concept of wet blankets, that now as I advance in my goals, as I set my goals and my resolutions, I'm very aware and very selective who I share my goals and my resolutions with, because you should not share with everybody. Wet blankets. These are those people who instantly kill any of your budding ambitions and your dreams. Julia writes, we must learn to keep our counsel, to move silently among doubters, to voice our plans only among allies, and name our allies accurately. It takes another artist to see the embryonic work that is trying to sprout. The inexperienced and harsh critical eye, instead of nurturing the shoot of art into being, may shoot it down instead. So be careful who you share your goals and your aspirations with. 3 takeaways from The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. Number 1, audacity. Be more audacious. Lean on audacity more than anything else. Number 2, synchronicity. Just start and trust that universe, God, whoever higher being you believe in, will bring people, places, resources to allow you complete your goals. And number 3, be careful who you share your ideas with. Some people are wet blankets and they will kill any budding aspirations and ambitions that we may have. Be audacious in 2025.